Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. Oh my goodness, after looking at this place even more, this is... And unfortunately, the view isn't that good right now, and actually we're in combat now. But this place reminds me so much of the Kingdom of Zeal from Chrono Trigger. It's such an amazing thing to see something like this realized in this kind of an environment. And granted, I admit it isn't the real Kingdom of Zeal here. Of course, this is Elpis, which is a research facility that the Ascians had. And if you don't know what's going on, you're just going to be confused here, because we have Hythlodeaus, or Hythlodeaus rather, and Emet-Selch here. And even we are wearing the Ascian garb, just as tall as they are. Yeah, we did a little bit of a time warp here. So, yeah, this, anyway, let's go ahead and continue on with the main scenario quest here. In search of Hermes. If you are ready, let us continue along the path to, Anganoris. The place serves as an observation hub and residence both. Someone there should be able to point us in the direction of Hermes. Alright, forward we go. Over to the next island, and yeah, this place is basically floating above the clouds here, so... Yeah, it is a, or at least above some of the clouds, anyway. So, it definitely has that same feel here. As we make our way over, I did finally get Ninja to 81, so the other one I'll be working on is White Mage, whenever I can. Just so I have that ready to go, and then I'll have, one of each of the main, groups here. But anyway, cutscene. Yes, can I help you? We wish to speak with Chief Hermes. Do you know where we might find him? Well now, by your mask, I assume you're one of the 14. I wasn't aware there was to be a visitation. Between you and us, it's something of a surprise. Your discretion in the matter would be appreciated. I see. My lips are sealed. The Chief should be out conducting observations as usual. His focus of late has been aquatic creatures, so I expect you will find him at one of the pools here. Pools, you say? Many thanks and apologies for disrupting your work. I say, Hythlodeaus, while I've never met Hermes, you know him well, do you not? That being the case, couldn't you simply find him by his ether? Aye, that I could. As you know, Emet-Selch and I can discern the color of souls. By the same token, we can also see ether quite keenly, and from great distances. With this skill, I could readily locate Hermes, but I felt that it would be a waste of an opportunity. We're here to perform an assessment, after all. By searching the ordinary way, we stand to gain insight into Elpis and the man in charge of it. This is as much for your own enjoyment, like as not, but point taken. If you're going to accompany us, make yourself useful and help us look for Hermes. According to his profile, he has short dark hair. So you know, it's because we're in Elpis that we don't have our cowls up. A special exemption due to the need to be aware of dangerous creatures. Elsewhere, we do not exhibit our individuality. It's unseemly. This is all common sense, but I would not assume you possess any. It's a rare treat indeed to be able to search for someone by their appearance, and I thank you for humoring me. Come, let's find our man. Yeah, and we're not saying anything about the future, because if we say anything about that, well, that basically is going to prevent the final days from happening in the first place, and, well, the world that we know it as of right now, basically the Ascians continue to live, and nobody else lived, essentially. Ah, that appears to be Hermes there.
Ah, you are...
Oh. Different. You're different too.
What is
You
she?
and me. We're alike. Friends. I want to be... Wait. Please. Wait.
She looks like Garuda, kinda.
Greetings and salutations. Can you hear me? Do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm. I wish only to hear your words, share your feelings, and know your thoughts. May we please be friends? May we please be friends?
Kind of telepathy?
Ah, I see you found him. Hythlodeaus. It's been a while. Too long, I think.
Too long indeed for close collaborators. On this blessed occasion, I bring not only myself, but others who long to speak with you.
You were of the convocation.
Emet-Selch at your service. Do I have the honor of addressing Hermes, Chief Overseer of Elpis?
You do. You have traveled far for it.
Given your facility's purpose, its remote location is something of a necessity. Would that I didn't have to rely upon a guide.
Oh, you wound me. Have I not ever been an attentive and helpful friend? But moving along to more agreeable company, this one we chance to... Well, you certainly have her attention. Is she one of yours, Hermes?
Her name is Meteon. It means shooting star.
If I may make an observation, her ether is terribly thin. I fear she might dissipate at any moment. Nor do I believe you've made a submission to the Bureau. I would remember such a concept if you had.
I haven't, as you say. I judged it too early. She's a pet project of mine, still undergoing preliminary testing. But rest assured that I will attend in person ere long.
Very well. Being an authority on flying life forms, I appreciate that you are exacting in your work. I shall look forward to your submission.
If we have finished with the perfunctory chit-chat, I would discuss official matters. By my coming, I trust you already anticipate the subject.
I have an inkling, yes. Please wait at the main building yonder. I shall join you as soon as I've returned these creatures to their homes.
What's wrong, Hermes?
An Amistoma is missing.
I may have found it. A creature with the self-same ether as those there, nestled in the boughs of a tree outside the grounds.
How'd it get over there?
You're saying they can climb, with their sorry excuses for limbs?
The fashion has been to imbue aquatic creatures with the power of flight, ever since the words of Metron created a sky-swimming fish. The Ambistomas too can fly, if only slightly, and they could conceivably climb a tree. Whether they can come down safely, however... Excuse me.
A sky-swimming fish? Okay, now this is becoming more than a coincidence. That's sounding like Bismarck.
I'll help, too!
And what are we supposed to do with this lot?
May I suggest we split up? If you would be so good as to assist Hermes, Emet-Selch and I shall keep an eye on these adorable creations in the meantime.
Alright. To the east we go. There it is. It seems Hermes and Mitzion have found their quarry, a creature known in this age as an Ambistoma. Yet, though it has been safely extricated from the tree, Hermes appears to have found himself in quite the predicament. The Ambistoma. Hermes saw it high up the tree. He climbed up to get it, but it jumped on him and he slipped. Oh, there he is! Okay. Do you need a hand? No, I'm fine, if a little embarrassed. Now, for your own safety, please stand back. Hermes, are you alright? Quite alright, yes. My apologies for making you worry, Meteion. Both you and, PrinceBrightstar. PrinceBrightstar, you're called. An intriguing name, somehow reminiscent of a new creation. Thank you for coming after me. Reminiscent of a new creation? As for you, little one, you must be more careful. You may be able to fly, but it doesn't mean you cannot fall and hurt yourself. Oh no, I had forgotten about its fellows. Don't worry. Truly? What a relief. I must thank Emet-Selch and Hythlodeaus when I return to them. But first, with the distractions out of the way. As Chief Overseer of Elpis, permit me to welcome you to our facility. I hope you will enjoy your time here. Well, we mustn't keep the others waiting. Let us return to Ananorisis. Off we go. I am going to turn this off. I think I'm going to take this opportunity to hit up the 8th right over there. If it even works. It does. Okay. And what do we have in this time? Apparently, once again, gear that is not high quality. Meaning it's basically useless for me compared to what I've got. My apologies for the trouble. Owing to your kind assistance, all the Ambistomas are safe and well. I will presently send them back to their space. If you would go on ahead to the main building. Upon entering, you will see a table and chairs, a meeting area. We may speak there. Very well. Take care not to let the creatures slip away again. That must be it up there. Oh, we've also got a gemstone trader here. Doesn't have too much right now, though. But that's to be expected. Here we are.
This appears to be the place. And here is where we part ways. We will be discussing highly sensitive affairs. Only a select few may be privy to such knowledge, and that does not include someone who cannot or will not divulge their origins. What? Will I have to remove you by force?
I have important things to say to him as well.
Yes, I'm sure your business with Hermes is quite pressing. You may speak with him to your heart's content after ours is concluded.
I do not object to his attendance.
Hermes, this is highly irregular.
Perhaps. but I believe he can be trusted. Meteion would not have taken to him so quickly otherwise. Moreover, the presence of a third party may help me to maintain composure.
As you wish, then. Behave yourself, do you hear?
You got it.
So, it's finally happened, then.
Aye. Fandaniel has declared his intention to step down, and named you as his preferred successor. In recognition of your knowledge and your works, the Convocation is giving the recommendation due consideration. As one who does not know you personally, I am to use my impartial eye to take your measure. And above all else, to ascertain your disposition towards the invitation. I understand that you and Fandaniel are close. He himself was once chief overseer of Elpis after all. I should not be surprised if you knew before anyone else that he wished to relinquish his office.
I did. He told me that when he fulfilled his purpose, he wished to pass the torch to me.
A torch you seem none too pleased to accept. Are you so averse to serving on the Convocation?
No, it's not that. For a humble researcher like myself to even be considered is an honor beyond words. No. What troubles me, what I struggle to come to terms with, is the very fact that Fandaniel is stepping down. Does this not mean that he will return to the Star?
Of his own volition, yes, like so many others have before him.
Return to the Star? Does that mean die?
Well now, that's not a word I hear often. Is that what you say here in Elpis? Mankind is the life of Atheris. Each of us, a drop of blood flowing through its veins, bearing sustenance. In our finite time upon it, 'tis our duty to make it a better place, that all who call it home, now and in future, may abide in happiness. To that end, we have dedicated ourselves to the pursuit of enlightened creation. And by our efforts did we transform this once untamed wilderness into the peaceful paradise you enjoy today. To return to the Star whence we came is a privilege afforded to we who have so loved and nurtured it. A choice embraced by those who have lived their lives to the fullest, in service to our world. And when they depart upon this journey, it is beautiful, always.
The 14 are no exception. 'Tis believed no occasion is more felicitous than the fulfillment of one's duty. Our office becomes our lives, and to retire is to return, or so the majority of us hold. Some few have elected to eschew custom. Mayhap you feel Fandaniel's deeds do not warrant his return. Yet you should know his accomplishments as well as any. During his time, he conceived of countless outstanding concepts. And channeling the wealth of experience he attained here in Elpis, he brought forth many new specimens.
I know of all this. I do. It's just... I cannot fathom why someone so great and wise, who could still do so much good, would want to end it all. Oh no. I've made her upset. Forgive me. I know I requested your presence. Might I trouble you to take Meteion outside? A change of scenery would do her good.
You got it. I want to make a quick adjustment here. I'm going to turn up the music just a slight bit. Let's see how that does. I'm sorry, Prince. I didn't mean... A walk? Perhaps we can go for a walk. Hermes gets sad when he thinks about death. When others are sad, I'm sad too. That's how I am. How he made me. But don't worry, I'm fine now. So, why did you come here? You want to learn about Elpis and Hermes? Ooh, teach you. I can teach you. We could take turns. I tell you something, then you tell me something. Sounds like fun. It will be. Where to start? Ah, yes, let's talk to Menon. He should be near the Aetheryte. I'm not good at explaining, but Menon is. So I'll have him explain instead. Meteion is now accompanying us. Alright. Ah, the Aetheryte. Anyone can use it to teleport anywhere. Well, maybe not anywhere. Not to the ground or other isles. For that, you need teleporters. Oh, and permission. And what have we here? Though you look like a person, you have the horns and scales of a beast. I assume you're a familiar like Meteion. Is there something you need? This is Prince. Could you teach him about Elpis? Ah, a newly arrived familiar, is he? Very well. I should be glad to introduce our fair facility to him. As you know, it is mankind's duty to make the star a better place. As part of this duty, we employ creation magics to bring forth new life. However, we cannot simply release our works into the world, for it would lead to chaos. No, any and all life forms must undergo extensive testing to determine their fitness to exist. Testing which is conducted here in Elpis. Every candidate is subjected to rigorous study, in which we identify their properties, surmise what habitats might be suitable, and speculate as to the effects they may have on the environment and other species. Should it be judged a beneficial addition to the star, it will be allowed to take its place in the world. The two of you, too, were created with the hope of making the star a better place. So heed your masters well, and be good, do you hear? We will, Menon. We will. Thanks for the lesson. You had a turn, now I get a turn. Where did you come from? I guess let's try to keep it happy around this one. From a place far, far away. Then I probably don't know it. I don't know much about other places. But this place is important to you. I can feel it. Oh, my power. I haven't told you about it. A creation. Let's find a creation. One not being watched. Then I'll explain my power. To the south. Here we go. Oh, actually, we have a point here. Discuss the Spriggans. Spriggans? What are Spriggans? Oh no, we call them Orei. If there's many, if it's just one, we say Oreus. Though they're cute, they can be naughty. Sometimes they run off with concept crystals, and Hermes has to run after them. Interesting. You. What is a shoe bill doing here? But I don't remember seeing it before. Perhaps it's new? Anyway, I'll try reading its mind. That's my power. I can't read it. Or maybe there's nothing to read. Wait, please wait. I'll try again. With you this time. Greetings, can you hear me? This is my power. I can read the emotions of those around me and project my emotions to others in return. I am not actually speaking to you in your mind. Rather, you are converting my emotions into words and intention, a process performed subconsciously by intelligent life forms. This ability is vital to my mission, for it allows me to interact with intelligent beings even should they communicate via unknown languages or other nonverbal means. As a consequence, I am clumsy at speaking. Yet, though I struggle to express myself in this fashion, Hermes wants me to speak as much as possible, for everyone has thoughts and feelings that they may wish to hide. I harbor an affection for you, one that is difficult to define. Aside from the fact that you share common traits with us, your thoughts are complex, prismatic. They draw me in and leave me wanting to know more. Out of respect for your privacy, I will refrain from using my power when speaking with you. Nevertheless, I want you to know that I wish to be your friend. Did you hear me? Good. Now it's my turn again, so, what are you good at? How about playing? Playing? I'm not sure what that means. Hermes says, let's play, but then he goes for a walk, or looks at creations. It's fun, but no different from work. I think we might be bothering it. let's keep going. We'll go and see Yanthe next. She's usually in a small building, one on the west row. Alrighty, off we go. This one on the right, it looks like. Meteion has yet to arrive. Oh, that's right. I need to go collect her. Well, well, if it isn't Meteion. I see you brought a friend today. Greetings, Yanthe. An apple. Could you make me an apple? The kind Hermes likes, covered in syrup. I want to share it with Prince. Oh, candied apple. Hermes is certainly partial to them. But you know you can't eat, Meteion. You weren't made to do so. But I like it too. It may seem that way, but it's due to your ability to share others' feelings. You've taken Hermes' likes for your own. In any case, I can't prepare an apple right now, but I'll bring one for Hermes soon, I promise. I'm sorry, Prince. I wanted to show you my favorite thing, then I could ask about yours, but I failed. Let's tell her what we like. Oh, that's what you like. Yes, yes. I can feel it. Your joy and happiness. And it makes me happy, too. Thanks for sharing it with me, Prince. Well, we've walked and talked a lot. Maybe Hermes has finished talking, too. Shall we go and see? Off we go. There you are. I can see the fresh air has done Meteion good. Prince wanted to learn about you and Elpis, so I taught him. About this place, about my power, about your favorite food. I'm not sure if the last one will be of any use. But I do appreciate you keeping Meteion company. While you were away, I finished speaking with our guests. Finished? Hardly. You requested time to consider the invitation, so we have no choice but to occupy ourselves with an inspection of your work. My apologies. It has been decided that Emet-Selch and Hythlodeaus will accompany me as I tend to my duties. If you wish to learn more, perhaps you would like to come too. I'm compelled to remind you that he is in no way associated with the convocation. We simply chanced to meet at Propylaea. There's no guarantee that the matters we discuss will remain private. I do not mind. To see the joy his presence brings Meteion, I cannot imagine our mysterious friend harbors malicious intent. Prince is kind, really truly. He taught me as much as I taught him. You're coming, of course, to watch Hermes? You're bound to learn lots and lots. Alright, with that, we just got a new armor piece, and let's see what item level it is. It is 539, so I think it is time we start unboxing some of this stuff. And that is definitely an upgrade, so I will take it. Although I suppose I need to re-glamour it now. If everyone is ready, there are a few creations I need to check on. First, we shall return to the spot where we found our wayward ambystoma. Have care when you step outside a hub, for there may be more unruly creatures about. Back to the southwest. Or southeast, rather. This here is a new species of Hythlodeaus we recently set loose. It has been doing very well, managing to maintain a stable existence thus far. If it can see its observation period to the end without issue, we shall release it unto the world. Tell me, do you know the difference between living beings and arcane entities? It is the presence of a soul, yet the soul isn't something you can choose to have at will. No, it manifests only in those beings whose forms adhere to the laws of creation. That can endure on their own. Beings that do not fulfill this requirement, such as those spontaneously born from magic or natural phenomena, do not have souls. No matter how much it might resemble flora or fauna, if it lacks a soul, then it is considered an arcane entity. So you see, it is not for mankind to decide what is living. That domain lies beyond our manipulation, and it is hubris to assume otherwise. But come, let us head to the nearby beacon. I've received a report that arcane entities have gathered there. Must be in this thing over here. Ah, yes. Lightning Pneuma. Just as the report said. Although we call this structure a beacon due to its form, it is, in fact, a magical device. By manipulating the balance of elements, it keeps the isle airborne and maintains the climate thereupon. In the course of its operation, it often sees an internal shift towards a given element. Right now, that element is lightning, which draws the pneuma here to replenish their ether. It appears Meteon is busy. Would you care to assist me in her stead and feed the pneuma? By using this lightning converger, you can harness ambient lightning and focus it into a ball. A veritable feast for our dazzling friends. Go on, give it a try. Alright. That's one. Oops. Target missed. Maybe I gotta get both of them. Or do I need to hit the destination point? Ah, there we go. I thought I needed to hit them with it. Okay. Perfectly done, Prince. Look. See how they gather it to feed? How they express themselves through their actions despite their lack of words? Speech is not the sole defining characteristic of a thinking, feeling creature. Nor is silence an indication that they do not possess these qualities. Be it a soulless arcane entity such as the Pneuma, or an ephemeral life form such as the Hythlodeaus, all seek to perpetuate their existence, to survive. Is Meteon a living being? A good question. I can answer it from a theoretical standpoint, but it ultimately falls to the Bureau of the Architect to pass judgment. Those with exceptional visions, such as Hythlodeaus, may be able to ascertain her true nature. But to me, it doesn't matter. She is herself, and that is all I need to know. Oh, you finished already. I'm sorry. I was in the way. Not to worry, my dear. They missed nothing of note, and we still have plenty of work for them to observe. Next, we will head east to the Morning Dew. I need to speak with some observers there. To the east we go, then. And we're about to enter another portion of the map, so White Mage just briefly here while this triggers. There we go. Oh boy, I believe that's a Gobu.
Amazing, is it not? The Ampelos, one of our newest subjects. So, how are we coming along?
Flower.
This place is Elpis. Those flowers. Elpis.
So the place and the flower are both named Elpis, then.
Emet-Selch. Like me.
They are a product of Elpis, and so named for their birthplace. A happy accident, born of the hands of a former researcher who loved beautiful blossoms. Unique for how they change color, to reflect the emotional state of those nearby. Though be it here or elsewhere, they are seldom seen in any hue save purest white.
Reflect the emotional state, you say? By what means do they achieve this?
In creation, there exists an energy wholly apart from ether, one driven by emotions. In like manner to how we manipulate ether, this flower is subject to the influence of said energy. while it has no will of its own, it is sensitive to the prevailing emotion in the vicinity, and reacts by altering its color and vibrancy.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feeling.
Akasha. Though I'm not familiar with the term, your description suggests it is the self-same energy. Dynamis, we call it.
Dynamis.
And those entities like the Elpis flower that have the ability to interact with this energy, converting emotions into tangible phenomena, are Entelechis.
That's me! That's me! An Entelechi!
That you are, my dear. And no ordinary one at that, but the first possessed of free will.
Wait. A form of energy other than ether? Dynamis? I've never heard of such a thing.
Hardly surprising. Dynamis cannot be seen, much less felt. And though its existence has long been theorized, we had no proof until the flower's serendipitous creation. What's more, Dynamis is far weaker than ether. Under normal circumstances, its effects are drowned out by the latter. On account of which, beings comprised of and reliant upon the ether, like you and I, are unable to make practical use of Dynamis. 'Tis a truly esoteric thing, known to but a select few scholars.
Intriguing. Then, given the limitations you described, why create Meteon?
Our star, Aetheris, is especially rich in ether, so much so that its name is derived from it. However, when we consider all energy in existence here and in the vast space beyond, Dynamis may account for as much as 68.3%. The more abundant form by far. Were we able to control it, we could open the door to limitless possibilities. 'Tis not unlike a gently flowing stream, unable to break through the dam of ether barring its path. But if we could imbue the stream with the vigor of a raging river... Not that I have such grand ambitions.
Very interesting.
Nay. I merely wish to create a being that could traverse the great expanse.
And this goes back to that discussion that we had with the Watcher again.
The relative scarcity of ether beyond the bounds of this star was a concern. And so, I looked to another source of energy by necessity.
That being Dynamis. No wonder her ether is so thin.
Precisely.
Yours is thin too. Like an Entelechi. Like me. So... are we the same? Entelechis.
Well, I have been known to transcend my limits with nothing but determination.
That sounds more akin to the desperate flailings of a wild beast when facing imminent death.
A deficit of ether alone does not an Enteleki make. It would, however, make it easier for you to interact with Dynamis. And limited though its influence may be, this quality could prove the difference between victory and defeat. You do well not to underestimate it. Oh dear, I'd forgotten about the poor fellow. You must excuse me a moment while I go and verify a few more things.
It feels like we're getting just a huge lore dump, not just only to finish up this expansion, but also to kind of set things up for future expansions. Not that I or anyone else would be able to make use of it even if we knew, but it irks me to discover that there is an entirely different form of energy, and no one told me. That personal annoyance aside, Hermes' knowledge is undeniably impressive. Given that there are none among the 14 who specialize in the Celestial, he would be a welcome addition. Assuming he can be persuaded to join, that is. I still can't understand his hesitation. Why did you join the convocation? Oh, you wish to know why Emet-Selch was chosen for the convocation? I should be glad to share the tale. It began when... Not another word. Lest you've forgotten, we're here to learn about Hermes, not me. My misspent youth is not your concern. Doesn't want to say a thing. My apologies for the wait. I have inspected the Ampelos to my satisfaction. All is well with the creature, and I dare say it won't be long ere it is released unto the world. Another creation, however, reportedly isn't faring so well. The Charybdis. That is what we shall tend to next. If you would follow me, my friends, we shall return to the main isle and head north. There's so much more of this place to see here. Interesting. I understand there is a problem with one of the Charybdis. Yes, that's right. As you know, the Charybdis is based on a sea creature. Owing to adjustments to enhance its affinity to wind, it is capable of flight. The specimens created from the concept could all fly without issue, but a problem arose in subsequent generations. This third generation creature was born with an etheric balance leaning strongly towards water. Its aquatic origin reasserting itself, it would seem. The result being its affinity to wind is diminished, and it cannot fly. No matter what we try, we cannot get it to even rise the slightest bit. For such change to manifest in so few generations, I fear they are too unstable, flawed. With your permission, I will revert the creatures and recommend to the Bureau that the concept be revised. With its etheric balance leaning towards water, the Trapdonis would indeed struggle to manipulate wind. Yet it is too early to conclude that it cannot fly. Having failed at first, it may simply have developed a fear. I shall transform and fly with it, helping it to manipulate wind until it finds its wings. What? You needn't go to such lengths. Obviously, these things still exist in the present world, so something good is going to come out of this. You don't know? But of course not. Transformation is an art in which one manipulates a vast quantity of ether to construct another body around oneself. In practice, this allows one to assume any conceivable form, and thereby transcend the limits of one's flesh. Yet convenient though it may be, transforming in the presence of others is considered vainglorious in the extreme, as uncouth and unseemly as running about robeless, shameful. Am I to understand you make a habit of this? Nothing of the sort. It's just that, when transformed, I can wield the wind and fly. It may seem excessive, but what is our shame next to the lives of these creatures? They deserve a chance, and we owe it to them to do it all in our power. Be that as it may. Yes, I believe I have a solution. Emet-Selch, may I trouble you to move that Trapdonis away from its fellows? Somewhere out of sight. Meanwhile, I'd like the rest of you to help me prepare here. What mischief are you scheming now? No mischief, I assure you. I would but spare you the need to report to your colleagues that Hermes committed an indiscretion. So have a little faith and run along. I trust you don't mind? Emet-Selch is out of sight? Good. Let's speak of the plan. It's a stroke of genius, really. We have Emet-Selch train the Trapdonis. What? Aside from being able to fly untransformed, he can readily see ether currents. And with his adept spellcraft, he can also employ suitable wind magics to guide the creature along. While he is indeed capable of all you describe, it is not his duty. I am loath to trouble him with it. Don't be. As I mentioned, it would also be for his own sake. With that settled, let's begin at once. Prince, I want you to go to Emet-Selch. Tell him that you have a favor to ask. He will be disinclined to cooperate at first, but you mustn't get discouraged. With our friend, the trick is to be unflaggingly persistent. Off you go, now, and good luck. With the chat mode in say, use your keyboard. Alright, so we have to say to him, I have a favor to ask. Got it. Oh, no, you don't. I'm not lifting a finger. Ugh, I don't know what Hythlodeaus is up to, and I will not be made to know. I refuse. If Hythlodeaus is to be believed, relentless insistence may serve to wear down the ever-weary Emet-Selch. Now we have to say, please, Emet-Selch. Oh, all these players around here. Gotta retarget. Oh, nope, I missed the comma.
No, no, no. You are not foisting this nonsense on me.
I'm given to understand you have the power to help the Charybdis, and should be quite willing to do so. And so I appeal to your better nature, most benevolent Emet-Selch. Please teach her to fly.
Or else Hermes will transform. Right now.
Now, there's no need to go quite that far. Altruism is its own reward, as I'm sure he would agree.
Oh, would he now? And who contrived to put me in this position, pray tell?
Nothing so devious. I merely suggested a possible course of action.
Please, Emet-Selch. Please.
I did not come all this way to play nursemaid to your creations. I'd thank you to remember this favor and let it be the last. I will aid it once it has taken to the air. It falls to you to shepherd it skyward.
Well, let's relax and enjoy the spectacle, shall we?
Sounds fun.
You were wondering why Emet-Selch joined the convocation. Truth be told, he wasn't the first choice for the office. I was, on the strength of my ability to see ether. But I declined the offer. For though my vision is exceptional, I am pedestrian in all other aspects. Worse even, quite abysmal when it comes to manipulating ether, for example. Couldn't transform even if I had a mind to do so. What good is the ability to perceive a problem if one cannot act to address it? Emet-Selch has no such shortcomings. He excels in vision and manipulation both, the latter to an extraordinary degree. If there is a mage more powerful, I do not know of them. Thus did I recommend him for the office in my stead. And I wasn't the only one. Far from it. Countless others vouched for his skill and character. People the world over, to whom he had previously lent a helping hand. Oh, how surprised he was. Claimed he hadn't done anything remarkable for anyone. Modest to a fault. He deserved every bit of acclaim he received. Yet he may well have gone unappreciated were it not for a mutual friend. a singular soul who can't help but involve himself in the business of others. Where he walks, excitement is certain to follow. His antics irritate Emet-Selch to no end, but much of his grumbling stems from genuine concern. When our friend calls, he never fails to answer and lend his talents. And in the course of doing so, he himself came to be recognized and respected by those around him. They are truly remarkable individuals, and I'm proud to call them friends. To help them realize their dreams. This will be my greatest contribution to our world. And when they have fulfilled their respective purposes, so too shall I have fulfilled mine, and together we may return to the star. Look at me, spilling my innermost secrets. I can't seem to help it with you.
I seem to have that effect on people.
I can only assume it is due to the color of your soul. I just don't understand how you can be so alike and yet so different.
Well done, my pet. Well done!
Ah, yes. I dare say the Charybdis will be fine here on. Why don't you go and signal to Emet-Selch? Let him know that his arduous task is at an end.
All right. Emerging from his reverie, Emet-Selch notices you and begins to descend with the Charybdis. I have no words to express my gratitude. Thank you. The Charybdis has learned to fly. And Prince and I could relax and have a pleasant chat. I'm sure you did. The creature needed some small assistance at first, but soon it was flying more or less on its own. I doubt you will need to repeat the lesson. That was truly impressive. I witnessed it all from afar. The Charybdis flies. Indeed, with this, we've proven that even a creature with a skewed etheric balance is capable of flight. Though we helped it to achieve this, the Charybdis is a herd animal. They may well aid their struggling kin in like fashion if and when the need arises. Keep this in mind. I bid you continue observing them. If that is what you want. But if I may say so, rather than hoping an idealistic possibility comes to pass, would it not be simpler to have the concept adjusted? That way we could guarantee that anomalies such as this specimen are never born in the first place. These creatures are already here. We will spare no effort in giving them a chance to survive. As you wish, Chief. As you wish. Hermes. I'm fine, don't worry. Well, that concludes all of my present tasks. Let us return to Anagnoris for now. Let's hit up the Aetheryte to get there quicker. What? Want to apologize for forcing me to help, do you? Save your breath. You didn't force me to do anything. I merely chose the most expeditious way to have done with an impediment to our business. Alright, let's see what we got here for the leg piece. Alright. Tell me, Prince, in the course of watching me, have you learned aught of value? Dynamis seemed promising. Dynamis, you say? Curious that such an obscure phenomenon should be of interest to you. Chief Hermes, what good fortune to find you here. Is something the matter? The Ichion. Yeah, I'm afraid it's done it again. No sooner did we release one for observation than it set upon the nearby Okeopites, slaughtering them. Was the creature hungry, or somehow provoked? I had just fed them myself, and the Okeopites keeping a wide berth. It is the nature of the Ichion that is to blame. Their innate viciousness. Temperament aside, it is an outstanding creation, perfect in form and function. Though it may not be suited for release, I have no doubt that the Bureau will accept its concept for preservation. In any case, there's no point in postponing the inevitable. Doros will revert them all once the paperwork is in order. Where is the scene of the incident? Just off the path to the 12 Wonders. As you make your way, you should see it on the left. I don't know if Doros is still there, however. Hermes, wait! If this is part of his work, then I would observe. We follow. Could be Rooks. Either that or the whatever was created here just is a bit too savage. Ah, down there. Here we are. The lacerations and burns are unmistakable. The Eikon was indeed responsible. But the creature is nowhere to be seen. Doros must have taken it away. The man makes his base at the 12 Wonders. I shall go and seek him out there. Emet-Selch and I will search the area for good measure, just to make sure the Eikon did not escape. My thanks. Let us meet at the 12 Wonders when you have finished. I will go on ahead. Please follow with Prince. Come, come, it's down this path and over the bridge. Over the bridge we go then. Let's grab this portion of the map. There we are. There it is, the 12 Wonders. Hermes is looking for Doros. Let's look for Doros too. He's a man with long blonde hair, I think. I'll know him when I see him. Alright, Meteion is accompanying us. And first up, let us attune to the Aetheryte. Doros, that's Doros. Well now, if it isn't Meteion, what brings you here? Ah, I thought I heard familiar voices. I didn't realize you two had decided to help me search for Doros. Thank you. You're in charge of Eikons, I believe. Where are they now? Out in the fields in restraints. Frenzied as they were, I couldn't well return them to Ktissis. Once I've submitted my report, I'll see them reverted without delay. It's as he says, the beasts are indeed quite ferocious. You're one of the 14. What brings you here? And yeah, they are definitely able to create that. Nothing you need concern yourself with. As you were. We've heard the news that an Eikon slaughtered Elpis. As the observer in charge, you are of the opinion that they are not fit to be released? I am. Their abnormal aggression and exceptional strength makes for a highly problematic combination. It matters not where they are released. Oh, that was a lowercase L the whole time. Lycaons would threaten other species and upset the natural order. Could it be that the specimens observed are an outlier? Highly unlikely. We've created a good many of them, all exhibited the same tendencies. Even when we used Kairos to begin with a fresh slate, their behavior was unchanged. Kairos? A memory reconfiguration system. The chief created it himself. It allows us to erase or alter memories, that we may observe creations in different environmental conditions without needing to remake them from scratch. Quite impressive, and potentially dangerous. Depending on the intensity of the etheric emissions, Pashtara may wish to have words with you. Rest assured, I've kept all values within prescribed limits, and to prevent misuse, its applications are limited to those authorized by the Chief Overseer. Do not misunderstand. To manipulate a subject's memories is an intrusive act I deeply abhor, but it is still preferable to execution. Come now, Chief, let's not be so melodramatic. What was born of ether is simply being reduced to its original state. I know the distinctions concern you, but we mustn't lose sight of the bigger picture, making rational choices for the sake of a more prosperous star. The creation cannot be properly studied even with the aid of Kairos. We remake it. If a creation is deemed a detrimental existence, we unmake it. 'Tis all for the greater good, and none question the necessity of such routine processes. I understand these things, I do. I would never think to unleash a clear and undeniable threat unto the world. Yet, insignificant though their individual lives may be next to all creation, it is all the Lycaons have. Before we seal their fates, we owe it to these beings to exhaust all options, to ensure that nothing has been overlooked. If you insist, let me provide you with a full report, and we may take it from there. Would it be possible for us to attend the discussion, that Emet-Selch may better carry out his duties? By all means. Pray show them to the meeting room. To man, other beings are just things, to be used and controlled, like magic. That's what Hermes told me once. Alright, new boots. I fear this discussion may take a while, during which time... Mitian, are you feeling unwell? It's not me, Hermes, it's you. I won't go to the meeting. I'll stay with Prince. Loath though I am to impose, may I leave Mitian in your care again? I'm in your debt, if you'll excuse me. Can you help me with something, Prince? The meeting will make Hermes sad. I want to cheer him up with a flower. Hermes likes flowers the most. Of all the creations in Elpis, most creations are expected to be interesting, or beautiful, or strong, better in some way. But flowers are different. They're designed to suit our emotions, what we feel and want to convey. Hermes likes that. I can't make flowers, so I'll search for one. And I want you to search with me. Let's start here, at the 12 Wonders. Alright, they are accompanying us again. What do we have here? Vibrant purple flowers bigger than your hands adorn the tree. Ooh, so big and bright. I love them. But they might be too bright. You have to think of the recipient. That's what Hermes said. Alright, there's another spot to the east. A tall, slender tree rises before you. You crane your neck to look for flowers. No flowers. If there were apples, we could have covered them in syrup. Let's head outside next. Don't worry, we won't wander far. To the north. An array of beautiful flowers grow in the bed, their mix of colors forming a pattern. These would be better for Hermes, but they're hedged in. That means we shouldn't touch them. They're either under observation or poisonous. Any other place should be fine, though. Let's keep looking. Again to the north here. Set on a tall, thin stalk, the oddly shaped flower is mesmerizing in its undulations. Oh, a conion, a flower that can move. When Hermes isn't looking, it shot seeds at him. Not a good gift, maybe. But you're good, Prince, at spotting flowers. We'll find something soon. You spy nothing promising nearby, at best common-looking grasses with some few tiny flowers. Nothing around here. Ah! Over there, Prince, something big, huge. I see the marble there. A terrible stench reminiscent of sodden old boots pervades the air. Without a doubt, the culprit is the marble-like creature before you. It's an Adonis. The things around its mouth look like petals, but the flowers are the orbs on its head. When Hermes inspected it, it swallowed him up. He didn't leave his room for days. What do you think, Prince? Would he like it? It's probably not this good sort of memory. Not this one either. Finding a good flower, it's harder than I thought. I'm sorry, Prince, but could we search a little more? Maybe as far as the fields over there. I'll pick something after that, I promise. This one has a lot of stops along the way. Lush green fields stretch out before you, ending where the sky begins. Ah, there's nothing. The shiny thing over there. What could it be? Oh, Elpis flowers. They're here too. Hermes likes and dislikes them at the same time. Like me, they're entelechies. Like me, they feel his pain and turn dark. That's only for Hermes, though. For others, they're always white and bright. Turning dark, huh? Truly, the flower was dark in your home? Then, do you have it too? A dark emotion? I've known the pain and sorrow of loss. I see. Hermes has known the same, the feeling that a part of you is gone, again and again, but no one notices. Please, Prince, won't you lend it to me, your pain and sorrow? I want you to make the flower dark, in front of Hermes. He has been in a dark place, since before he created me. He needs to know that he isn't there alone. The others are sad too. Or that others are sad too. Truly, you'll do it? Thank you, Prince. Thank you. It means more to me than I can say. I can't wait to see how Hermes reacts. Let's go back and fetch him. Hit up the Aetheryte here. It seems they are still talking. Let's wait until they've finished.
Hermes!
Oh, you were waiting for me.
You've finished talking?
Yes, we've come to a decision. My thanks for keeping Meteon company. Emet-Selch and Hythlodeaus have already retired to their rooms. There is room for you too, if you would follow me.
Wait! I want to show you something first.
Elpis flowers?
Go on. You're not the only one, Hermes. Others feel sad too. You're not alone.
I see Meteon has shared much with you. May we talk a moment? I do not think it wrong that we live for the star, that we strive to make it a better place. And yet, in carrying out my duties here, there are times when I am plagued by doubt. Do you recall what Hythlodeaus said when we first spoke of my nomination? Death is the privilege of those who have fulfilled their purpose, a choice they embrace of their own free will, and when they depart, it is always beautiful. Perhaps it is, but only for man. Creations that he deems useless are discarded with nary a second thought. Some scarcely born into the world, afforded a handful of breaths before life and potential are abruptly extinguished. We make an effort to spare them the pain, but they sense what awaits. Rage and anguish and cower and fear, and it is not beautiful. Yet no one cares. No one. So fixated are we upon the duty that we do not pause to question the method. Pain and suffering, confusion and despair, writ plain in the eyes of those poor creatures. Yet no one sees. We turn a blind eye and carry on in blissful ignorance. Not amiss. And always, always the blossoms shine pure and white. A contradiction so blatant I could scream, want to scream. How can you all accept this aberration? Then I wonder, am I the aberration for thinking thus? And I am filled with dread. But now I know I'm not alone. Not the only one for whom the flowers weep. I won't ask what you thought as you kneeled beside the Elpis, or if you only did it at Meteion's insistence. Nevertheless, I thank you. To know that you too have experienced suffering is a comfort.
I'm trying to think of how to act here, because just by doing this, we may have accidentally changed the timeline. In for a penny, in for a pound. Let's have no more brooding, eh?
Indeed. Difficult though it may be, I must endeavor to be strong like you. The stars in the heavens. Know you what they are? Though it is too far to tell, each glittering light could be a world not unlike Aetheris. A world filled with life. So many stars, so many lives. For us, there may be no higher purpose than to live for our world. But what of the other living beings out there? What is it that gives their lives meaning? That drives them day after day after day? To pose that question to our undiscovered cousins, I created beings of dynamis, who can traverse the vast emptiness between the stars. Meteion and her sisters. Aye, sisters. She has a great many of them, and they have already departed on their journey, traveling to one star and then the next in search of life. As one might expect, exploration on such a grand scale is rife with difficulties, and thus far I've naught to show for it.
That sounds like they're setting up for something in the future there.
But I have faith that we will make some manner of discovery ere long. And when we do, I should be glad to share our findings with you, in gratitude for your kindness. It's getting rather late. We had best find our beds. It would not do for both of us to be sleep-deprived on the morrow. Come, Meteion. Let us head back.
All right!
Alright, Hermes. All too brief interlude, perhaps, but it is time I attend to my next task. Hey, Lord Samuel. As Emet-Selch and Hythlodeaus are aware, we reached a verdict regarding the fate of the Lycaons. 7 were created for observation, and all 7 must be unmade. Doros follows the correct protocols, and as Chief Overseer, I can find no fault in his judgment. The Lycaons would disrupt the natural order, ravaging and consuming other species until they themselves starve and perish. They cannot be released into the wild, and they cannot be allowed to remain here in Elpis. I intend to petition the Bureau of the Architect to have the concept preserved as a restricted purpose hazardous life form. Hythlodeaus has pledged to support me in this endeavor. Yet whatever the Bureau decides, the existing Lycaons have served their purpose. Doros has already isolated the creatures, and is preparing to carry out the necessary measures. I will join with him forthwith. It is my duty to witness the conclusion to this study. If you are resolved, then we have but accompany you. Of course, let us be off, then. We return to the main aisle. Lord Samuel, if you get the 2002, try to rejoin again instantly. You might still have the same spot that you had before. Okay, Aether Current. I'll take that. I getcha. Does this section look familiar, or is this different than where you were? Doros, are you hurt? What happened here? They caught me off guard. I had them bound with ethereal shackles, but they became frenzied, even more so than usual, and broke free. I was able to stop 4. The other 3 escaped. I see them. 2 have taken to the air above the 12 Wonders. The last is up ahead, lurking in the fields. You and Prince handle that one. The pair in the sky you can leave to me. If this is how it must end, then so be it. I will render assistance to Emet-Selch, unneeded though it is. Metian, you are to stay here with Doros. But Hermes... The Lycaons must be reverted. I would spare you their pain, and mine. This is my burden, not yours. But if you are intent on helping, then please follow my lead. Indeed, I am in Ascian robes here. Alright, so let's take this thing down. That's not the same. Well, it is the same Emmet, but it's not. It's an Emmet before he knew us. I appreciate your help and lament that it is necessary. There it is, our quarry, within striking distance at present. But if it feels threatened, it may well flee beyond our reach. Here's my plan: you approach slowly in full view, and draw the Lycaon's attention. Now, I warn you, its abilities are as fiery as its temperament. Once it spots you, it will unleash orbs of flame. But fear not. By my measure, you are more than equal to the task. Withstand the onslaught for a few brief moments, and that will give me time to catch it unawares. Ready? Then let us begin. Alright, first one down. Gotcha. Alright. And now, I guess we just wait here.
Now. Oh. Forgive me. Please, forgive me. May you and your kin find peace. Wherever your souls may drift in the underworld, may you find tranquil seas. Be not forgotten, in concept endure, to reclaim form and one day live again. Serve not the star, or any purpose save your own. Live again, if that be your desire. Hate, if that be your want. We are worthy. But leave your suffering behind. Lay down your burdens, be born anew. Fly high. Fly free.
Join the convocation, Hermes. You do not belong here.
Leave to replace another. To be replaced. It changes nothing. Tell me, do you think it right that we sacrifice all these lives for the sake of the star? And when the star has reached perfection, what then? If all who are satisfied choose to die, shall we all die in satisfaction? I do not know. Were I to take up the seat of Fandaniel, it would be tantamount to approving my predecessor's death. I do not know if it is right. And to be torn by such thoughts, I do not know if I am fit to represent mankind.
Hermes! Please don't be angry. It hurts so.
Forgive me. If you would still consider me in spite of everything, I beg some time to gather my thoughts. Meanwhile, Hythlodeaus, I fear I must trouble you to attend to the others.
'Tis no trouble at all. Take as long as you require.
And you, my friend, I pray you find that which you seek.
I expect we have some few matters to discuss. Shall we return to the 12 Wonders for a time?
Aye.
Alright. The other Lycaons have been taken care of. The incident is resolved, and life in Elpis continues as normal, or ends, as the case may be. Rationally speaking, I understand Hermes' argument. No matter how well deserved the rest, there is a pang of sadness when a colleague leaves us. Yeah, Lord Samuel, they think I'm just a familiar of Azim. Yet never has a departure caused me such grief as Hermes appears to feel. What must it be like to experience such torment? That's level 87. Let's get some new gloves on. Where to go now? If there's anywhere you would like to visit before we leave, I should be glad to show you the way. Hermes has not yet outright refused his position with the convocation, merely postponed the decision. As such, I may as well resume my assessment. If we cannot accompany him, then I will content myself with questioning his colleagues. Ever the pragmatist, then allow me to remain your humble guide. And what of you, Prince? Will you continue along with us? Wonderful. Our fellowship travels on unbroken. I say we explore another part of Elpis, and see what new encounters there are to be had. If you follow me, we will first head back towards Anagnorisis. These are some tongue-twister names they have. Almost there. That was good to hear there, Lord Samuel. Yeah, I suppose the real early grind or eternal grind right now would be the queue. Although I've found that at least if I get in early in the morning, it still ends up working for me with not that much delay. From here, we follow the path northwards to Notonus. There we will find one of the teleporters which facilitate travel between the islands of Elpis. First-time travelers must be accompanied by someone with the requisite permission, which I have previously been granted. We only need to use the device together once, and henceforth you will have leave to use it freely. Shall we? Indeed, Zio, and welcome to the show. Actually, I'm not sure if you've been watching for a while or not. They do. But at least Square Enix, for paying customers, Square Enix said they're giving everybody free time, and might be even more than 7 days, depending upon how long this goes on for. Here we are, Notonus. This teleporter will take us to the Kalimelios Zephyros, the western island. That's it right there, looming large over us. Step this way, and we can soon admire the view from above. Once again, this whole place looks similar to the Kingdom of Zeal from Chrono Trigger, which is sort of the feeling I had the first time I saw that artwork.
I present to you Kalimelios Zephyros. Here you will find a number of testing facilities, as well as the observation hub of Poiton Oikos. Right then. Let's begin by... Well, well. An Arraius. How delightful.
And what, pray tell, is that?
I know that shark.
Ah, that's a new species of shark. We approved the concept but a few days ago.
That shark showed up as a boss in one of the Shadowbringers dungeons.
Sharks are among the most popular sea creatures. Rare is the day when someone does not submit a new concept. At first, they were largely orthodox, consideration given to such things as size and environmental impact, and then a whimsical someone thought to bestow it with flight, another superior intelligence, And then the floodgates burst. Concepts with multiple heads, or arms and legs, and so on and so forth. It was getting absurd. A part of me wanted to tell them to go away and find something else to create, but in the end, I couldn't deny their passion. And here we are.
Incoming.
That was too close. Are you unharmed? Well now, if it isn't a pair of familiar faces.
Indeed.
Vanar, that we should meet you here.
Hello, Hythlodeaus' heart.
As I mentioned earlier, the better part of the convocation holds that when we retire is when we return to the star. Well, she is not among said majority. Even after stepping down, she carries on with her work. Vanar is her name, and she is the previous Azem.
It has been a while, Hythlodeaus. You look well. Less so, Emet-Selch. I dare say the lines upon your brow have both deepened and doubled in number. A shame for one so young. You must make an effort to frown less often.
Easier said than done, thanks to your unruly successor.
How is he, if I may ask?
Incorrigible as ever. Rushed headlong into a volcano on the brink of eruption just the other day. I should be glad to share the tale in its entirety later, if you're so inclined.
Doesn't that sound familiar?
Oh, you know I am. Now then, you are? I say, have you perchance come from the future?
Uh-oh, cat's out of the bag.
I do not believe we have ever met, yet I sense my magic upon you. Therefore, if I wove the enchantment, I could only have done so at a later point in time.
What manner of magic is this, if I may ask?
A traveler's ward, of course. It prevents the corruption of one's ether.
They probably don't have any idea what primals are, so I'd say that sounds rather like the Blessing of Light.
I see you are not ignorant to its presence. And while there are many protective spells, the one you bear is unmistakably mine.
Hold on. From the future? That's absurd.
What is it? Are you unable to speak of the matter?
The reality to which you must return exists as a result of the final days. You cannot reshape the past to undo the tragedies of the present.
He does that. Or rather, if we do that, Then the final days never happen, and the Ascians are still living in the present.
So, your actions here will not change your history, but they may yet affect the course of ours.
True.
How very exciting. I'm quite fond of delving into the unknown, and there's naught more unknown than the future. Until a moment finally arrives, we cannot know for certain what will come to pass, regardless of our supposed foreknowledge, so you needn't worry for us. More importantly, that you should go to such great lengths as to travel unto the past bespeaks the gravity of your quest. Will you not reveal it to us? Mayhap we can be of aid to your cause.
If this is true, then you've been keeping quite the secret to yourself. As a representative of the Convocation, I will hear it all. Your identity, purpose, everything.
Why don't we move to a place more conducive to calm conversation? I've been working here for some days now at an old friend's behest. If it is agreeable, we may make use of my accommodation at Poiton Oikos. We were meant to meet. I am certain of it. Else I wouldn't have marked you so clearly, and sent you unto myself in the past. It's precisely the sort of mischief I would get up to, and quite inspired, if I do say so myself.
Oh, actually, we still need to speak with them first. Okay. My apologies, but before we move along, a colleague has tasked me with a matter which I'd rather not leave unresolved. It involves finding a certain concept-engraved crystal, and the quick-fingered Aureus which made off with it. An Aureus, you say? I think we might have seen the culprit before being distracted by that business with the shark. Would you like us to follow its ethereal trail? That would, of course, lead us only to the Aureus. There's no guarantee that it hasn't dropped or stashed away the crystal you seek. Please, even that much would be enormously helpful. While you're hunting down the thief, I can follow behind and scour the forest floor just in case. Could I ask you to join the search? I would appreciate another pair of eyes to cover the land to the west of here. Indeed, the power of the quest marker. Or, I think that's the echo at play. Many thanks. There's a small bridge leading into Poiton Oikos. Let us meet up there once we've exhausted our efforts. Alright, to the southwest. Well, let's also not forget that I am basically one of Azem's successors, so... I appear to have gone past the spot. Here we go. Gotcha. As long as you're fine with being spoiled here. Our last searcher returns. I'm afraid the Aureus no longer had the crystal, nor was I able to find it as I followed in its wake. I don't suppose you fared any better? Concept crystal. A scintillating crystal upon which is stored some manner of esoteric concept. Crystal, well done. Wonderful. Now I can focus on your tale without that missing concept nagging at my mind. Have you always had a knack for finding things? I've often been asked to do so. Oh, you too. Some of us seem destined to always be searching, for ourselves and for others. Long ago, when I held the seat of Azem, I was forever trekking back and forth across the star in search of answers to people's problems. Naturally, the need for such journeys has lessened considerably since I entrusted the position to my whimsical successor. Yet I am still eager to come running, should an old acquaintance or new interest require my personal attention. That is what brings me to Elpis, in fact. Many times has my presence been requested, my opinions sought concerning the habitat of this or that creation. Agreeing to help locate that missing crystal was a minor distraction, which now promises to become a major revelation. How strange and wonderful it is, the way one thing leads to another. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, it definitely seems that way. Thank you again for your timely help. Now then, 'tis time I return this stolen property. If you would go on ahead to my accommodation, I will join you as soon as I have attended to that task. Follow the path straight ahead to the building at the top of the slope. I have the entire place to myself, so we can speak without fear of being disturbed or overheard. So, one time paradox in play here is the fact that Emet-Selch did not recognize us until one very brief moment in Shadowbringers, but he recognized us as an Ascian and not as our form here right now. So, I wonder if it's too late and the timeline actually is going to go to crap here. And, yeah, Rooks, I completely agree on that. Yeah. She doesn't really enthrall others. She just protects them, and that's it. And seeks out help where she can. Welcome to my temporary abode. Please, make yourself at home while I put on some tea.
A wonderful aroma. I feel more relaxed already.
Would that I had sweetmeats to offer, but I travel light out of habit. There's plenty of hot water though, so please have as much tea as you like. Now then, will you tell us your tale?
Really, any of these would be valid. And if anything, the middle one might be correct, given that it's Hydaelyn that eventually does that. And none of these really imply the idea that it's happening in their time. Zodiac was the one that stopped things from happening. It's a tough choice to make here, that's for certain. Yeah. No, I agree there. I think I'm gonna go with the second one here. The world has been sundered, broken into shards.
Why don't you start from the beginning?
I would have said 8. We're telling all.
Preposterous. Utterly preposterous.
I suppose that's the one way one could hope that this would turn out. By telling the truth, they would consider it to be pure insanity.
While not the words I would have chosen, I too have my doubts. Much of it borders on the incredulous. What of you, Vanar?
Not knowing the precise details of the first final days, it is difficult to determine the veracity of the tale. Supposing it is all true, I must ask myself why I would do what I did. Why would I feel I had no recourse but to oppose the 14 and create this Hydaelyn? Circumstances change, of course, but it would not have been an easy decision regardless. No, there must have been a reason. One compelling enough to force me to take such drastic measures. Then there is the Elpis flower, which I said would serve as a guide. That it's of import to your mission is plain. But your presence here leads me to believe that this place also holds significance. But what could it be? What are we meant to accomplish?
Might it not be simply thus?
I just had a thought. Maybe they're going to wipe their own memories when this is all over with.
In the future whence he came, the final days could not be averted. Mankind has no choice but to flee the star. By alerting us to that eventuality, perhaps you wish to pave the way for other futures.
Theoretically speaking, it is a possibility. Yet if that were my primary objective, I see no reason to guide our friend to Elpis specifically. The capital and Amarot, or even my own home would be more logical destinations.
True, true. I note also that Hythlodeaus did not specify a point in time to which he must return. By this, it may be inferred that it was not critical that we should meet.
Alternately, she had reason to believe that our paths would converge, coincidental though it may seem.
This is quite a puzzle. And we do not have all the pieces.
Hardly any. But we do have one immutable fact. If the final days are indeed as described, they will bring death to all that I hold dear. Yet despite being afforded long years of preparation, the only provisions I could make were for flight. Nay, my first and foremost endeavor would be to find a way to forestall the coming doom.
Given that even the 14 failed, mayhap you deemed it impossible.
Nothing is impossible. This I have always believed. And if Hythlodeaus is indeed me, she would believe the same.
Listen to yourself. Are you seriously entertaining the notion that you are a messianic figure in some far-fetched tale? Well, I will not. I refuse to accept that our world could be undone by some unforeseen calamity. I also take offense to my portrayal as a megalomaniacal madman.
Oh, if only we could take him back through the portal. Can't we?
To sacrifice oneself for the star is a noble act, and I would hold those who gave themselves to this zodiac in the highest esteem. Yet, you claim I recreated Amarot and populated it with phantoms of our people? A bizarre indulgence that would be insulting to their memory. Worse still, I even invited you there. Literally invited my own downfall. Why would I do something so idiotic and inexplicable? Now, I will allow that the hypothetical task of restoring our world would be daunting in the extreme. The thought of having to bear such a burden for 1,000 lives horrifies me. But I would never forsake my duty. I would never forsake my brethren. You do not know me. I've had my fill of your fiction. I will return to my duty, and you will not bother me again.
Emet-Selch! Wait!
This is probably what we were waiting for.
You've seen much of Elpis already. If you have any observations to share, I should like to hear them.
Dynamis is the key to all this.
Ah yes, the energy distinct from ether. Though not my field, I have a basic understanding of Dynamis. And you say Hermes researched the phenomenon in the course of creating Meteon? Yes, I believe this warrants further investigation. With that settled, 'tis time for action. The missing pieces of the puzzle are here, I'm certain of it. And when you find them, the picture my future self has painted will be complete, and you will have your answer. Now suffice it to say, I will aid you in your quest. Have faith. If Emet-Selch is the man Azum described to me, we've not seen the last of him.
Alright, so basically all of our cover is blown right now, and we've let the cat out of the bag on everything. So, with that, I'm going to take a quick 3 to 5 minute break, at which point we're then going to resume and speak with Vanan again. So please stand by, everyone. I will be right back.